Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is April 28th, and right now we are looking at the infrared satellite imagery. We got the upper level low spinning across the Intermountain West. It brought some thunderstorm activity there yesterday for eastern Washington, eastern Oregon, Idaho, and Montana. We're going to take a look at where those thunderstorms will pop up again here today. But if you look out across the Pacific Ocean, you can see the next frontal system. It is pushing into western BC. It'll be sagging down south across western Washington, some of Oregon over the next day or so. We'll take a detailed look at that, and we'll take a look at what is to come as we go through this upcoming week and what the following week has in store for us as well. So taking a look here at yesterday, I'm going to back this all the way up towards the afternoon hours, and you see some of the thunderstorms there. Oops, it refreshed there on me. So you can see those thunderstorms across northeast Washington and driving down towards Spokane. Idaho Panhandle had numerous rounds there, and again, a couple thunderstorms there for eastern Washington, and more than a couple there across some of southeast Oregon, portions of the higher terrain of the Rocky Mountains, southwest Montana. And then we scroll off in towards this morning. You can see where that spin in the atmosphere is there right across Utah, and the next frontal system bearing down on western British Columbia as we speak. If we take a look at the visible satellite imagery where we are right now, you see Mount Rainier, and if you go east of the mountains, you're getting some nice sunshine here. It looks like the sun might just be peeking out. You're trying to break up some of that stratus and marine there for western Oregon, western Washington. You can see the coastal areas are fairly well socked in this morning as our frontal system's pushing into British Columbia. And if you want to send me any kind of weather media or anything you want me to use on the channel, like look at this. We got some nice lenticular clouds over the Santa Rosas there yesterday, very beautifully sculpted there. Go ahead and send them to me on the community page of the Patreon channel, which is in the link down below there in the description. And it's probably the best way to help support the channel as well. So now looking over the last 24 hours, we saw all those thunderstorms there for eastern Washington, eastern Oregon. A lot of Idaho was included in that, and western Montana as well. Nothing for western Washington or western Oregon, though, and this is over the last 24 hours. And speaking of lightning detection systems, this weather station is great for the price. You cannot beat it. It is a very fun weather station. Highly recommend it. And I clicked on one of these near Spokane yesterday, and you see we got 2 lightning strikes at 2:10 and a couple more at 2:20 nearby that station. You can also go in here and check out all the other stuff there, lightning activity, and it tells you how far away. It looks like it was between 17 and 20 miles from that individual station there. So fun stuff there. Highly recommend that station. Now taking a look at the European model, this is 500 millibars, 18,000 feet. You're looking at general ridge and trough position. Ridge is generally fair weather, sinking air, less clouds, and when you get the upper level lows or low pressure systems here, or the troughs, you get precipitation, you get convergence, you get clouds, and generally cooler weather. So there's that upper level low, and there's this transient ridge that's going to be moving across some of the region here today, but quickly this frontal system is already pushing in towards the area. This is where we are right about now, and you can kind of see that trough way out across southeast Alaska, this ridge passing through. There's that little blurb here as we go through tonight and into Tuesday. There's that little frontal system. It's fairly weak, but it will bring some precipitation the first in almost a week here for portions of like Seattle, for example. Then we're going to build the ridge again here as we go through this week. Wednesday, Thursday looking like pretty nice days, especially Thursday. Quite a warm day here across much of the region, but then we get this next frontal system rolling in. Actually, Friday might be another fairly warm day here across the area too. Before this frontal system here, it's more powerful than the one that is moving on in through the region tonight, and you can kind of see that trough setting up here. We'll see just how much this system wants to split and what kind of impacts that is going to have on the region there, but you can definitely see a pattern change as we go through the upcoming week, and of course just in time for the weekend, I say sarcastically. Now looking at lightning flash density potential, this is the high resolution rapid refresh. This is the 12Z run. It goes out 48 hours. Every 6 hours, it goes out 48 hours, and it runs every single hour, and every hour otherwise it goes out 18 hours. So if we scroll through the day today, you can see we are getting some thunderstorm activity probably across northern Nevada, portions of Idaho, and some of southwest Montana, and some of western Wyoming here. I wouldn't worry about this too much, probably just noise. Not expecting a lot of lightning activity with this initial frontal system rolling through. Then we go on into Tuesday, and you can kind of see this activity across British Columbia, northeast Washington, Idaho Panhandle. Can't rule out a couple of thunderstorms there as we go through that afternoon on Tuesday, and then that pushes down across the region here. And then we start to rebuild another ridge. So if we take a look at the composite reflectivity, this is what the Doppler radar may look like here over the next 60 hours, or at least what the North American model forecasts it to look like. Some of that precipitation, for example, moving across western Washington as we go through tonight. That's about midnight tonight. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 a.m. Starting to drop down towards places like Portland, maybe a little bit of precipitation east of the mountains as well. Not, a big rainmaker by any stretch stretch of the imagination. That frontal system pushes through some residual showers across western Washington, some of the higher terrain, Cascades of Oregon, maybe across the Willamette Valley as we go through the day on Tuesday. Nothing, that exciting or anything like that. And then we go through Wednesday when we start to dry out and warm up yet again. So looking at total precipitation amounts, so there's the upper level low in the Intermountain West there, spinning some of that precipitation around. But as we go through tonight, you can kind of see that pushing down across southwest BC, western Washington. By the time we wake up tomorrow morning, it looks like almost a third of an inch for Seattle. Lesser amounts for Portland and the Willamette Valley, however. Look, by the time we get to Tuesday afternoon, 4/10 of an inch of rain for Seattle. But then as we go into Wednesday, we do dry out again, and Thursday yet again as well. And then we wait for this next frontal system. It starts to push in Friday morning across western BC. And by the time we get towards Friday night, it's going to start to bring some additional precipitation there towards western Washington. Seattle getting up over 3/4 of an inch there when all is said and done as we get towards the end of the European model run. Cascades higher, 1 to 2 inches maybe over the next 6 days or so. Now, daily 2-meter max temperature. This is for today, Monday, April 28th. Looks like maybe topping at around 60 for Seattle. Some mid-60s there for the Willamette Valley. Warmer east of the mountains there. Look at that, some mid-70s, some upper 70s. Maybe you can see Treasure Valley there in Boise warming up into the lower 70s. You can see some of these interior valleys all the way up into British Columbia, eastern Washington are getting nice and warm as well, up towards 70 degrees. And then we go on in towards tomorrow. There's Tuesday. And then we go to Wednesday. Look at that. We really bounce these temperatures back. Look at that. Back into the mid-60s for Seattle. Probably some 70s for the Willamette Valley. Warmer east. But then we go to Thursday and look at this. Some mid-70s all the way up into southwest BC. Some 80s showing up for western Oregon. Friday, maybe a transit. Oh, not maybe. Probably the transition day here as we maybe top back out towards 70 degrees. Look at east of the mountains. So you're looking at some mid-80s showing up there on May 2nd. This is this upcoming Friday. And then Saturday, look at that temperature drops that toggle back and forth between Saturday. There's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We cool things down, of course, just in time for the weekend. And then we go on towards next week. We'll see what is to come after that. Actually starting right now with an extended forecast look. Here's the European Artificial Intelligence. This goes out about 15 days. There's our Intermountain West upper level low, and then this is the frontal system moving through tonight and early tomorrow morning. Ridge builds for a couple warm days there, Wednesday and Thursday, maybe again Friday with the transition day with the frontal system rolls back in as we go through next weekend. And take a look at that, a lot of that energy moving down into Southern California. Then we build another ridge here as we go to the very end of the weekend. Looks fairly transient as another trough sets up over the Gulf of Alaska, and it spreads more frontal system activity towards the Pacific Northwest as we go on into the following week. We'll see how that trends as we go because we're looking a little bit far out in the forecast here. I mean, you're talking, if I back that up and look at that trough, you're still looking at almost 10 days out in the forecast at that point. So here we go. There's Tuesday's frontal system. Then we wait for Fridays, and you can see not a bad frontal system there. Then we build another ridge, and then we build and bring another trough here towards the region. And you kind of see the off and on precipitation here. But again, take that with a grain of salt. Over the next 15 days, you can kind of see the interior portions here actually showing some above average signal there. A little bit of a below average signal there for western portions there, and much above average for portions of western British Columbia, especially north of Vancouver Island. And if we take a look at the 6 to 10 day mixed bag, Pacific Northwest, as you can clearly see, and there's the 6 to 10 day precipitation, general above normal here for much of the West Coast. And looks like maybe the bot cleaning is done. We went through this phase here over the last couple of weeks where the subscriber count was going down, and I heard some rumblings that it was due to bot cleaning there. So yeah, click like and subscribe if you are enjoying the channel. Thanks to all my members, my supporting members. This channel is not possible without you. And if you want to join and support the channel, click on that join button down below, or you can support me on the Patreon page also. So again, not possible without you guys. Thank you very much, and hopefully over the next few months we'll reach 100,000 subscribers, and I'll be able to share the award back there behind me on that shelf there for all to see. So anyway, hope you guys are enjoying the channel. Hope you guys are having a good day otherwise, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.